agree on that. I'm saying that claim that roses are roses is going to be a negation of their position. Yes or no?
No.
It's not going to be a negation of their position.
No.
How is that not true? Okay, you don't know what
No. Let me just break down something. Step by step. Roses are roses is a statement I made.
But that's necessarily true, right?
Alex, come in here. If you have another philosophy guy
He's not
here.
going to agree with me.
He's not going to agree with you. Definitely not going to agree with you.
He's definitely going to agree with me.
Hello, Ali.
Alex looking sharp, man.
I very much doubt he's going to agree with you. Alex, Alex, come.
Alex,
Okay.
on the right side,
On this side now.
Okay, Alex. Look. I don't have any truck with this guy. He's a friend, but he's not like I paid him to agree with me. Our friend here believes every single claim needs justification, right? And I'm going to make the claim, not every single thing requires justification, and here's my reasoning for it. If everything required justification, we would have an infinite regress of no one knowing anything. So I follow Aristotle's school of thought of foundationalism, that all knowledge goes back to some foundational things which are axiomatic.
Okay.
Am I wrong in this?
No.
That's going to be. Let's say I follow the school of thought.
But he agrees with me.
Okay, let's say I follow the school of thought of coherentism.
We're talking about the ontological argument.
He's talking about, first of all, Ali was talking about the continuity argument.
Okay.
And he made a particular claim about infinite regression.
Okay.
I said, well, infinite regression is going to entail an actual infinite, right? But he's not going to deny an actual infinite, because heaven's an actual infinite.
Yeah.
So he cannot say, infinite regressions are impossible because they entail actual
We're getting distracted. One second. We're getting distracted from an important point.
I know.
The important point is every claim doesn't require justification. That's what you believe.
Yeah, wait, because you're a foundationalist.
No. If I'm a foundationalist, what's incoherent about my view?
No, there's nothing okay about your view, but on let's say, for example, a coherentist, they'll take a different position.
Who cares?
Who cares? That's gonna be a negation to their position.
No, my belief.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me
So we're
this.
just talking about beliefs.
No.
So we're talking about infinity.
Let's forget this conversation. We're not talking about anything
Just-
important. We're not talking about anything
You
important.
give your honest perspective. If you disagree with me, you disagree with him. Here's the point I'm making. He made a point which I totally disagree with. He made a point. Everything requires justification. Every claim requires
Any
justification.
positive ontological claim requires
You're adding some new words in there, which weren't there.
That's exactly
Now,
what I'm saying.
He didn't say that.
here's the point. Here's the point.
Now you're saying it.
Okay. So let me complete my
That's what I
statement.
mean.
So my belief that every claim does not require justification, the foundational school, as espoused by Aristotle, that I believe is coherent, and I am subscribing to that perspective. Why am I wrong?
Oh, you're not wrong on the foundation.
Okay.
No, that's the thing. It's two different philosophical schools.
That's the whole point I'm trying to get to. You're not
But
talking
I
about
would say
anything.
that
Just, like,
the problem with the contingency argument is that it doesn't.
No. This is more of an infinite regress.
Yes, yeah.
So he was saying that, for example, we cannot have an infinite regress. So if I said, for example, if I want to tap him on the shoulder,
No. Of course.
and I said to him, there are infinite amount of people behind me. Would I ever get to tap him on the shoulder? He said, it's possible. Yes, you can. And I said to him, how? And he was saying all this much.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's
So
infinity,
he's saying
the thing is, infinity is not proven in our lifetime, so we cannot assert it.
I'm taking infinity as purely mathematical.
So is it possible?
It's proven,
No. Is it possible?
The problem is
Oh,
when we
okay,
tap the shoulder, when we tell the proven logic.
Let me just ask you one question. Look, you've been asking the questions. I have a question
I
to
haven't
ask
actually
now.
asked any proper questions.
No, you did.
No.
Look, I just have a very simple question.
What's your question?
If there's an infinite number of marbles and I take away 3 marbles, how many marbles are there?
Oh, anything I don't know about marbles.
Okay.
How?
So an infinite number minus 3, you're saying the answer is
So
infinite.
you have to assume a certain axiom.
So, first of all,
Do you see the problem
No,
there?
there actually isn't.
You see no problem
There
there?
actually isn't a problem.
Taking away from infinite is not a problem.
Hold on, no, because
I'm leaving the
you can leave. That's completely fine. So if you understand, it's a particular idea in set theory where we have to make a distinction between the cardinality of a set and then like the set itself. Now the cardinality of the set is not the set itself. So it's actually an equivocation when you say, oh, I'm going to take 3 marbles of the set, which is the cardinality, and the set itself. Those two things are not the same. So it's perfectly coherent. There's no problem there. You can really look this up. You can look up all the
Yeah, mathematically, there's no problem.
there's no
Look,
problem.
look.
So
There's
wait,
an assumption.
Do you remember what I said to you? Do you remember what I said to you before? We're not talking about something axiomatic or some assumption in maths We are talking about in reality.
In reality.
In reality, can there be an infinite regress of causes?
Okay.
Yes or no?
I mean, I don't see a contradiction. So right now, I'm gonna say.
I
yes.
believe no.
Okay. So what's
I believe no.
What's the argument?
The argument Ali Dawa gave before.
No, the
You know,
thing
what- you know, he gave
An
I think-
infinite regress
wait,
of
wait,
causes
wait,
is
wait,
impossible.
Wait.
An
That's not
infinite
an
regress.
argument. That's a claim.
No, that's an argument.
That's a claim.
No, the argument that he gave
No, he
you
didn't
was
give-
based
see,
upon
you
tapping
wasn't-
of the
you
shoulder.
wasn't here, you wasn't
I
here.
listened to it.
No, he didn't give an argument.
That was an
No,
argument.
he said, if I were to go to you and tap you on the shoulder, would I ever do it if there's an infinite
That's a thought
set?
experiment.
You know, that's not an argument.
Why is
That's
that
a
not an
claim.
argument?
He's just making a statement. What's
No,
the-
he's giving you
he's
a
giving
rational
you-
argument.
No, that's not an argument. Where are the premises?
Wait a minute. Are you saying an argument needs to have premises? An argument can be one simple line.
Oh, of course, it can be one premise and then a conclusion.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't even sometimes need to be a premise and a conclusion. It could simply.
It could just be a conclusion?
You could
That-
simply.
an argument
you
is just a
could-
conclusion?
you could
An argument is just a conclusion?
you could simply make a claim which is going to be self-verifying.
Self-evident, I would say.
Pretty much self-evident. Yeah.
Look, if you say, for example, like,
Okay.
I'm not going to disagree.
Forget. Okay.
Let's
How
say-
about this?
let's
How
say-
about, let me make a new
Hold on,
claim.
wait,
Let me make a new
wait,
claim.
Let me make a claim for you. Wait,
Infinite
let's say-
regress of
wait,
causes
wait.
are impossible in the
Okay,
real world.
Okay. First of all,
Do you disagree with me?
what's the argument?
No, I am. Firstly, if you're saying,
I'm not convinced of that.
Okay,
What's the
okay,
argument?
okay. 1 second.
I'm not convinced. What's the
Okay,
argument?
okay. Firstly, don't say you're not convinced or not. Say yes or no.
I'm not convinced. I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Okay, you're not. Okay, you don't know. So if I was to say,
You give me.
I think on the
Wait, wait,
You
wait.
need to
I
give me
think
an
the problem here
argument
is
as to why
is the
infinite
my friend. Let
You're
me
going off a particular sense of modality.
my friend. Let me.
We have to get to
my-
the
no,
arguments.
my friend.
Look,
Okay,
you're gonna see
listen
things
to me.
like PSR,
Listen to me.
you're gonna see
Do
things
you
like-
think examples are not arguments?
No, I don't think. Look, not
Do
necessarily.
you think every single argument
you can give me
needs
a thought
premise,
experiment.
conclusion?
No, you can give me a thought experiment. I'm not going to deny you give me a thought
Okay, so
experiment. But just-
1 second.
Please,
Is a thought experiment evidence for you?
thought experiment can be evidence. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to give you.
Okay. Look,
So can I continue my thought experiment?
go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I want to catch the London double-decker bus. I want to, give them £1. So I come up to this gentleman. I say, "Can I have £1?" He says, "No, I'm going to ask Mansoor." Mansoor says, "Can I have £1?"
He's gonna ask
And
him. I heard this before.
will I ever be able to catch the double-decker bus if there's an infinite regress of causes? Yes or no?
I see no contradiction.
No, I'm asking you from your perspective.
From my perspective, anything. So the only way that set of events cannot occur is if it's impossible. Do you agree?
What do you mean? Say that again.
So the only way that particular set of events could not occur is if it is impossible.
Sorry, I catch the bus or I don't catch the bus?
So it's impossible that you ever catch the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Now that means, so if it's impossible, it's going to entail a contradiction. You agree?
Not necessarily.
So wait.
It could just be there's something incomplete.
So if
It doesn't have to be a contradiction.
Wait, isn't something so? Explain to me the distinction. I don't understand.
Something is incomplete in the chain.
So wait, what's not complete in the chain of him going to him and then
Okay,
going to him
so
and then going to
look,
him?
to make it very simple, I'm trying to break things down to as simple,
Wait,
as
wait,
simple
wait, very
examples
quickly.
as possible.
You're saying for any set chain of contingent things, there's going to require, right, or even infinite things, there's going to require, let's just say, a necessary
First cause.
thing.
First cause.
So-
If I was to take the bus.
wait, that's your claim, right? So then, let's
No,
say-
no, it's not a claim. I just gave you a
Okay,
thought experiment,
okay.
which is
Wait,
evidence.
wait,
Which is
that's-
evidence.
wait, that's going to presuppose that particular thing. I'm saying simply this. To me, that's going to be any different from what comes to you. You're saying that for any set chain of contingent things, it's just going to require a necessary cause, a necessary first, like a necessary first.
Okay, I'm not I'm
You-
not.
you don't disagree with me.
So,
You don't
no,
disagree.
I'm not. Sorry,
You don't disagree.
I do disagree with you, but I'm not disagreeing with you right now. I'm asking for clarity. Are you saying I can catch the bus?
No,
Wait,
forget
I'm
that.
asking a question.
No, I think it's a distinction between theory and practice.
Look, I'm talking about reality practice.
Yeah.
Can I catch the bus if there's an infinite regress of people that I have to ask for £1? Yes or no?
I'm simply saying, in my view.
But you're not answering my question.
Okay, for the sake of my answer, yes. Okay. The reason why I'll say
okay,
yes,
fine.
the
How?
reason why I'll say
How?
yes is because I don't see a contradiction in that set chain of contingent things. Now, the reason why I would say no is if it could be shown to me how that would be impossible. Because anything impossible entails a contradiction. I think we both agree on that. I'm saying if that set of events was impossible, and and you're saying it is impossible, then you should be able to provide to me a contradiction. Now, either you're going to say, oh look, any chain of contingent things is just going to have a necessary first cause, which is going to be begging the question. That's a very like position that you hold, which I don't hold that, right? Or you're going to be saying to me something like,
Why would the first cause be begging the question?
oh, because that's a very claim. Your very claim is that the reason why a God exists is the whole contingency argument is to prove that there are contingent
Okay,
things,
so
and contingent
firstly,
things
can
cannot-
you define what you mean by begging the question?
Oh, begging the question is assuming the conclusion in the premise.
Okay, fine. That's good. So how am I assuming the conclusion in my premise?
Yeah, because if you're saying that the premise is that no set cause of contingent things cannot exist without a first cause, that is begging the question. Because your very conclusion is that all set contingent things that exist, it has a first cause for it. That's begging the question. I hope you know. It's clear cut.
How?
It's
Okay,
clear cut.
okay,
There's no getting away with it.
okay,
It's
okay,
clear cut.
okay,
It's clear cut.
wait a second. You
need to show me the contradiction.
Look, my friend, here's what I'm really confused about. You're really confident, but you're really deluded.
Well, look, tell me how. Tell me how.
I'll explain to you how.
I've spoken to this
No,
guy,
look,
loads of people. You all say
my
the same
friend,
thing.
my
You
friend,
don't show
I
me
didn't
how it's
interrupt you when you were espousing your views. Let me espouse mine. Here's why you are super confident, super deluded. You're saying I can catch the bus, yes, despite the fact there's an infinite regress of causes going back ad infinitum. That does not make any sense.
Okay, so you're going to now have to tell me what. So now we're talking about modality. We're saying it's going to be necessarily impossible, right? That given that there is a fact about reality where someone is going to ask everyone else for £1 such that they can catch the bus, is going to be necessarily impossible. Okay, that's what you're telling me, right?
I'm saying it
Wait,
make.
yes. You're saying it's necessarily
No,
impossible.
I wouldn't use those words.
But that is what's going to
No,
be
no,
entailed.
no. I wouldn't
don't
use
think
those
you
words.
use the words.
No,
That's
no,
what's
no.
entailed.
Because no. Shall I tell you why? Because
you're espousing
no,
to me a
no.
particular type of modality.
No.
And I'm gonna ask you what kind of
Look,
modality
my
you're using.
friend. What's happening is
So look, all it
I
seems
don't
to
want
be-
to
I'm
tie
gonna
myself to certain
presuppose
words
that-
that you're using
Okay.
because I'll have to get you to define what they
okay,
mean.
okay. Is
So
it-
rather
okay,
rather
I'll
than
make it-
that,
I'll make it very
rather
simple.
than that,
I'll
rather
make
than
it very
that,
simple.
right,
I'll
rather
make
than
it very
that.
simple. Is there a possible world in which?
wait.
Is there a possible world in which an infinite regress of contingent causal
Okay,
things can ever
okay.
remember any possible world
Yeah.
ever reach its end?
Okay.
Is there a possible
Okay.
world?
Now I get what you see. Now I get
talking about modality.
now I get what you've done.
Talking about modality.
You've simply changed my example.
I haven't changed it.
You have.
You're
Because
saying it's
no.
metaphysically
Wait,
impossible.
wait, one
That's
second,
what you're
one
saying.
second, one second.
Oh, you're running away.
Here's why you changed my example. I said in this world, this. You said, is there any possible world in which that could happen?
Wait, are you
You've
saying-
changed my
wait,
example.
Are you saying just in this world?
I'm asking about this world.
Oh, so first of all, like, I'm a metaphysical realist. So I don't think that there are some things that can occur in this world that cannot occur in another. Like for example, in every world that exists, the law of contradiction obtains. It's never going to be true in any other possible world that 1 + 1 = anything other than 2.
Right.
So that's that's the kind of modality that I'm going to use.
Right.
Now you're going to espouse to me a different type of modality. It seems to me that you're saying something akin to like some like metaphysical relativism. You think that there can be things that can be actual in this world, metaphysically speaking, that cannot be actual in another world.
No, that's what you're saying.
No, that's what
No,
you're
that's
saying.
what you're saying.
That's what you're saying.
Okay,
I'm
so
saying
le-
metaphysically
my-
in
my
all
friend,
worlds,
my friend.
what's going to be true in this world is going to be true in every other
Let-
world.
let-
You're telling me
no,
something.
no, no,
different.
let's
What's the
keep
argument
it
for that?
simple. Let's keep it simple.
We're gonna go.
Let's
Go
keep
ahead.
it simple.
Go ahead.
I can catch that bus
In this world.
in this world,
Yeah.
even if there's an infinite regress of causes according to you.
Yeah, because I don't see a contradiction.
Okay,
So
that's
unless
fine.
you wanna remember, no,
From a contradiction, anything follows.
no.
From a contradiction,
No,
anything
I never
follows.
said it is a contradiction. I said I don't see a contradiction.
You don't see that there is
So look,
something
for
missing.
example, I don't see. No. But I mean, if you want to say that, I don't see a contradiction.
What?
for example.
Okay.
Look, I don't see
Okay.
a contradiction. for
So
example.
I can catch the bus even if there's an infinite regress of causes
Look,
going back,
look, is
according
it-
to
no,
you.
Hold on. Is it possible, for example?
You're not answering the question
now,
again.
I'm going to make it very simple. Is there a contradiction?
I'm the one keeping it
is there-
simple, actually.
Is there a contradiction, for example, in saying that we can start from the number 1 and the number 1 can go up to number 2 and number 3 ad infinitum. Is there ever a point where any of the natural numbers don't, like, there isn't a number that is like quantitative?
That's a disanalogy.
It's not a disanalogy.
That's a total
The
disanalogy.
reason I'm talking about contradiction.
That's a total
it's not
disanalogy.
I'm talking.
How is that relevant here?
I'm talking about me not seeing.
One second. You're talking about counting numbers ad infinitum. I'm talking about infinite regressive causes.
First of all,
This is chalk and cheese.
No. First of all, both of those are instances of actual infinite. I hope you know that, right?
No,
Yes.
I would say in this
Yeah.
case, no.
No.
I would
You
say
may
in
be
this
talking-
case,
the
wait one
content
second.
may be different.
You asked me the question, and you want to answer it for
So
me?
they're not. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. In this case, I'm saying there is not an infinite regress of causes going back.
So there's a contradiction. What's the contradiction?
I didn't say there's a contradiction.
If you
I
say
said
there
there
is
is.
not-
Wait, one
Okay, wait, you
second,
saying it's finite?
one second.
Saying it's finite.
I'm saying there has to be a cause which allowed that to take place.
I'm not denying that there has to be a cause, but that's not your position.
That is my position.
No, because we're talking about look, you were talking.
That is my position.
Ali Dawa.
Wait a
Ali Dawa came and
minute.
messed
The
up
whole
thing.
reason
Ali Dawa
we're having
messed
this
up.
discussion.
We're talking about a contingency argument, right? We're talking
Let's
about
cut to the
causal
chase.
fin-
Let's cut to the chase.
You're
We're
giving me
talking
an
about
argument
God.
against causal finism.
We're talking about
No,
God.
no, no,
We're
no, no.
talking about
Let's
God.
do this.
We are talking about God.
You're talking about causal
We're
finism.
talking about God.
You're talking about causal finism.
Look,
You're talking about
the first cause argument for God
denies
is
causal finism.
look
That's what it
in
does.
this world,
No.
real in this world,
Metaphysically-
in this world,
Metaphysically.
in this world,
Not in
in this world.
In all worlds.
No, in this world. The reason why I'm saying
But then you're a metaphysical relativist.
no,
What's the
I'm not
argument?
metaphysical
You obviously are.
relativist.
What are you doing?
But the reason I don't want to get into that is because
Then you're not talking-
of look, you know this and I know this. Even today, we have certain things which in front of our eyes seems to be contradicting laws of logic. Things like in quantum mechanics.
Tell me something quantum mechanics like that.
Certain interpretations, many world interpretations, Copernican
Many world interpretations. Wait,
of
none
the observer
them-
bias,
wait.
things acting differently. We
You
have,
seem to be confused about I don't want to have a quantum mechanical conversation with you, but nothing in quantum mechanics ever contradicts any of the logical, any of the three.
according to some, they believe it does.
Yeah, but they're just like who? Sorry. What are you talking about?
No,
You don't know
no,
what
no,
you're
no,
talking
no,
about.
no.
That's not. You don't know what you're talking
Let me continue.
No, it's okay.
Look, can we cut to the chase? The discussions about God
about.
and
Discussions about causal.
no, wait one second.
We're not talking about God.
I'm trying to
We're
do a
talking about
bird's
causal finitism.
okay. Look, I'm trying to do a bird's eye view.
Look, I know we're talking about the contingency.
Okay.
argument, which is a proof for God.
Okay, yes,
I agree.
yes.
But one of the premises is that infinite regressions are impossible. Now that's going to deny causal finitism. You now need to provide an argument.
No,
and you now have to
I
provide an
gave a
argument.
thought
And
experiment.
guess what? I
Okay.
told you that thought experiment does not work.
No.
Does not show that your position
No,
is correct
that-
because causal finitism has not been disproved. It's not a
Okay,
contradiction.
let's slow down.
Saying
Let's
that
let's
infinite
slow down. Is a thought experiment evidence for you?
Let's just say yes. Yes, it is.
That's not an answer.
Yes, it
If
is.
you say
Yeah,
let's
yes,
say
it
yes,
is. Yes, it is.
yes, it is. So if I provide to you a thought experiment in which I cannot catch something unless there is a cause,
You didn't show
I,
that.
I gave you a thought
You
experiment,
told me, would I ever catch the bus if I had to do X, 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 Y, Y, Y?
and you never answered the question.
said- I did
You
answer
never
it.
answered the question, by the way.
I said yes.
Okay, yes. What do you mean? Yes, it can go back forever. How?
Oh, there's no
Now you made the claim, and you said every claim needs justification. Go ahead and give me evidence.
There's no contradiction.
No, give me evidence.
There's no contradiction.
Give me evidence for
There's
that.
no contradiction.
Give me evidence.
Yeah.
No.
So guess what?
Don't
Guess
say
what?
there's no contradiction,
Guess what?
because now what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
I'm going to change my standard for your standard. Your standard was every claim requires justification. So you're the one that made a claim that this is possible. How?
Okay, so under my interpretation of modality,
I don't care about your interpretation.
I don't care about
Give
your
me
interpretation.
evidence.
You just gave me
Give me
foundationalism. I don't care
evidence.
about your interpretation.
Give me evidence.
Your foundation is a justification.
No,
I don't care about that.
What's wrong with foundationalism?
Oh, I don't care about it.
No.
You see, you said it very
No.
Look,
All I'm doing now,
No.
my friend,
I'm a fan
I'm
of
taking
the
your standard and applying it to you.
Yes.
Your standard
Yes.
has to be applied to yourself
on
now.
my interpretation
Show me
of
how it's possible for me to catch a bus if there's an infinite regress of causes going back.
So
Over to you.
So in modal logic, there's a particular axiom called the S5 axiom, which literally just says, if it is possible, right, that X, then it is necessary that, so then it's necessary that X. So let's say, for example, X is necessary, right? You know what that means. It's not, it can never fail to exist. Now, under my interpretation of modal logic, if it's possible that X, which X is that is necessary, well then, it's necessary that X. Well, it's perfectly possible, in my view, that causal finitism is true. Therefore, it's necessary. There's something which means there's no contradiction. Prove me I'm wrong.
You didn't actually answer my
I
question.
did actually answer your question.
No, you didn't.
I gave you the S5
What was my
modal
question?
logic axiom.
No.
You said give me justification.
You know what you did?
What did I do? What did I do?
All you simply did is you espoused what your view is in modal logic.
So yeah, that's the justification.
But
So
my friend,
logic
my
isn't a
friend, my friend,
justification?
my
Logic
friend.
isn't a
No, no, no,
justification?
no. You didn't complete the
you're not talking
circle.
to me.
You didn't complete the circle.
We're talking German and
No, 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 we're not.
You're
We're
talking-
speaking English and English.
Speaking alien language.
What's basically going on now? I'm going to keep silent. Continue your justification.
Yeah. So do you deny or affirm the S5 modal?
No, no, no. I'm waiting for you to complete your justification for the claim that you made that yes, I can take that bus even if there's an infinite regress. Carry on.
So remember, I'm simply saying that there is any in modal logic, what is going to be possible is going to be possible if and only if it doesn't contradict something in the very nature of reality. Okay? For example, I don't think, for example, like Moses splitting the sea is impossible. That's perfectly metaphysically possible. Nothing within the actual like logical laws of reality says anything about how Moses cannot split the sea. Jesus walking on water. That's not impossible. That's perfectly possible because there is no contradiction for that to occur. So I like if there was evidence given to me, I would believe that. I don't care. Look, it's perfectly possible. Now I'm going to hold that position. It's going to be the S5 modal logic position, right? It's an axiom of modal logic. That given that something does not entail a contradiction, it is therefore possible. That's my position. Now, if you're saying that the S5 axiom is false, go and deny S5 modal logic. Go ahead. That's my justification.
Wait, modal logic you're using to justify the fact that I can take the bus despite an infinite regress of causes.
So remember, in modal logic,
Do you feel you've answered the question sufficiently?
So I'll make it very simple
I don't
again.
think you have.
Okay,
What
so
you've done now is
let me
this.
make it very
I'm
clear.
actually going to zip my mouth and I'm going to ask you, I'm going to rephrase. Okay, are you a moral absolutist? Sorry, metaphysical absolutist. You believe that it's true, whatever's true in this world metaphysically is true in every single world?
in terms of like necessary axioms.
Yeah, you do. Okay, good. So you believe it is possible for me to take the bus despite an infinite regress of causes? Yes, you do.
Let's just say
No, let's just say, you say yes. Now, I'm going to keep quiet. You show me that that is possible.
actually, okay, for the last time, for the very last time, in a modal logic, okay, in a modal logic, okay, there's going to be, modal logic is all about possibility and necessity. You agree to that, right? So we're going to have different types of senses of what we mean when we say possible and necessary. Now, I'm going to take that anything is possible if and only if it is, so yeah, if and only if, that's it. So something is possible if and only if it can obtain in some way, right? So for example, it's impossible for you to come here and not wear this coat. That's perfectly possible, right? Because it doesn't entail a contradiction. So anything is possible insofar as it doesn't entail a contradiction. Now, it's not necessary that you wear the coat.
Okay, can you say that again? Anything is possible
If and only
if and only if.
it does not entail a contradiction.
Okay.
Within itself.
Okay, one second. If anything is possible, okay, you and me, we both agree, if right now I hit my fist on the floor and you get a gushing spring, that is logically possible.
No, metaphysically possible.
Metaphysically possible. However, that metaphysical possibility, which we have from a framework perspective, which allows many types of things, does that mean that happened? in the real world.
You're getting confused.
No, I'm not. I'm actually now showing you where your gap is.
we're talking
Wait,
about
one second.
possibility,
One second.
not actual
One second.
things.
One second.
You're confused.
One
You
second.
don't know what
One
that
second.
is.
One
You
second.
don't know
One
what
second.
that
One
is.
second.
You
One
have
second.
no idea what you're
One
talking
second.
about. I hope you know
The
it's
reason you're getting triggered is because you've realized where the gap is now.
Okay, very
My friend,
Very
you,
simple.
my friend.
You don't know what you're talking
No, don't worry. Trust me, he knows what he's talking about. He's got a PhD in whatever. Right.
Yes, you were talking about quantum mechanics, and you said that
I'm not talking about quantum mechanics. I'm talking
We
about
were
mechanics.
earlier.
you said that there is no logically inconsistent thing. Obviously, there is. Obviously, if you look at observation in quantum mechanics, your logical way of thinking, what you have perceived or taken as common sense, and then you metaphysically extrapolate that will obviously violate quantum mechanical sense. That will not work there.
Okay, so
So
you're confused. You're confused. There's a distinction.
Another thing.
There's a distinction between our traditional intuition and then the logical possibility.
Yes.
It's true that in
I
quantum
am saying
mechanics,
that
our intuition.
That's what I was saying to you.
We're not
You just
talking about
admitted to that.
intuitions, we're talking about
You
logical
just
logic.
contradicted
I did
yourself.
not contradict myself. You don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
exactly what I said to you, and that's why he bumped in.
Sorry.
No,
You
I
just
am
contradicted
saying-
yourself.
You said there are logical things that are disproving logic. When the video
I didn't say disproving logic.
said disproving
I
logic.
said they're
Don't
going
do that.
against what we believe to be logical.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Our perception of it, and you disagree to that.
wait, if you-
And you carry on about this, because now you get. Bro, he studied quantum mechanics, he's got a PhD, he'll school you as well. Carry on.
Unicorn is equal to unicorn.
Wait, stop. No,
It is
stop.
self-consistent.
Hold on,
Unicorn,
stop.
the
Yeah,
unicorn
unicorn,
is
yeah.
equal to a unicorn. It is self-consistent within itself. Does that mean unicorn exists in possibility?
Look, when you said logical, I thought you meant
No.
philosophical.
Tell me.
No, I didn't know
So you
meant
misunderstood what I said.
I thought you meant intuition. I agree that in quantum mechanics, there are going to be a lot of things that are going to be unintuitive. You don't disagree. I agree. That's not logic.
I'm not saying they disprove logic, I'm saying it goes against what we perceive to be logic.
No, that's intuition, not logic. You're getting
What do you mean?
confused. Like for example, I have like intuitions all the time. One of my intuitions is that when I walk down a road, the floor's just going
Okay.
to collapse. Logic.
Can you
what I'm
subscribe?
saying
Okay,
is that-
one second, my friend.
I know what you're talking
No,
about.
my
but
friend,
we
my
don't
friend, you
disagree.
don't. My
We
friend, you
disagree.
don't.
We don't
My
disagree.
friend, here's how. No, we do disagree.
Okay, let's say the
Can
three
you
laws of logic.
can you explain Young's slit experiment and why it goes
I know
against?
about that. That's got nothing
No,
to
no,
do
no,
with logic.
no, no.
It's
It
got
does.
to do with
It does.
intuition.
It
No,
does.
you don't know what
It
you're
does.
talking
It does.
about. You have no idea
It
what
does.
you're
It
talking
does.
about.
It
Double
does.
split
It does.
experiment has nothing to do
It
with logic.
no. It does.
No, it does
It does.
not.
It
No,
does.
it
It
doesn't.
does.
You
It
have
does.
no-
Please,
okay,
please
no,
explain
no,
why it does. Listen, he has a
I
PhD
don't
in
care what
physics.
he
He can
has, it's wrong.
explain.
Look, tell me. Remember, not intuition, logic. It goes against intuition.
Explain Young's slit experiment.
I know what the double slit experiment is. I know exactly. When you fire photons down two slits, for example, it has a particular way in which it occurs. But then, when we add a measurement to it, instead of it working like particles, it becomes a wave. That does not contradict logic. It contradicts intuition. They're not the same thing. You don't know what you're talking about.
No.
You don't know what you're talking about. Trust
Let
me,
him speak.
I've studied this. You do not know what
Let him complete, and then I'm going to speak.
Tell me, and I'll tell you why you're
If
wrong.
you observe a single photon, then you will identify that in which sleep,
Let him please speak.
in which sleep it is passing. Now, so you know that which path is taken by that. You know that. But again, when you summing that up at the observation point at the screen, then you seeing the nature that it is everywhere. So your calculation says that it is not like that. It was everywhere. So your calculation to explain the result, it needs the assumption that the photon was actually everywhere. But if you observe,
No, you're confused.
do you know that?
Bro, he has a
path
PhD in
what he
quantum
has.
mechanics.
No,
This is why you shouldn't be talking about quantum
Do
mechanics.
you know the path integral approach of quantum mechanics? Do you know the quantum
This is the
coherence?
problem with scientists don't study philosophy. I'll tell you this. This is the problem.
So you are talking about philosophy of science.
That's the whole point I'm
So
talking
that
about.
is based
When
on
we talk about,
observation.
when we talk about,
Okay,
when we
okay.
talk about
One at a
determination-
time. One at a time. One at a
when we
time.
talk
One
about
at a time.
determination,
Okay, let him speak.
when we talk about determination, there's an equivocation. There's one thing in determination, in determining our knowledge of where the particle is, and then the knowledge of where the actual particle is. So where the actual particle actually resides. Okay. For example, superposition is only about our knowledge about us not knowing where it is. So possibly it is everywhere. That's what the superposition says. And we agree.
He's not saying possibly, he's saying it is.
Yeah, that's
It
false.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, how do you know that?
Okay. Let him complete. Let him speak. Let him speak. Let him speak. My friend. But don't talk to him. Let him
Do you
speak.
know
Let him
the
speak.
Casimir effect? So Casimir effect proves that the quantum fluctuation is real. You know, that means quantum fluctuation real means uncertainty is real, and that means
What is uncertainty?
Well, let him speak. Let him speak. Let him speak.
Uncertainty is
My friend,
knowledge.
my friend,
no,
he didn't
it has
interrupt
nothing
you.
to do with the
it
limitation
My
of
friend, my friend, let him
experiment.
speak.
Exactly.
My friend.
Nothing to do with the limitation of experiment.
One at a time.
What do you
Please,
mean
please,
uncertainty?
complete your point. Complete
I
your
don't know
point.
why. Look, I want to get back to our little.
No, do you know why? Because you made a false statement
I
about
didn't make a
quantum
false
mechanics,
statement.
and randomly, we had somebody who because of quantum mechanics
I'm
background
not scared of this man.
contradicting you.
He's not contradicting.
Well, you saying you're not scared shows you're
Talk
scared.
about quantum mechanics.
Speak to him and let him speak to
You
you.
go-
Let them speak to you. Let him
I
speak to you.
suggest you go to the book of Modern Quantum Mechanics by J.J. Sakurai. Read the first chapter. Okay, then come back. I will discuss. But you are having a classical view of quantum mechanics that it is limitation of measurement. No, nothing to do with limitation of measurement. It is by nature there. It is the quantum reality is by nature like that. Now we're talking
No, because that's the point I was making.
Okay, let's take a
No,
quantum.
no, wait. Let him complete his point. Let him complete his point. Let him complete his point.
All right. Yes. What's surrounding the atom?
Sorry?
What surrounds the atom? What surrounds the atom?
It is the quantum fluctuations.
Okay, so the quantum fluctuations are what? Just let the lady.
It's fields. So you know there is no particle. In fact, it is coming from fields.
We have
All
an atom.
pervading fields.
Wait,
all pervading fields. Do you know all pervading fields? What does that
Let's
mean?
break it down very simple for the lay people. We have atoms, okay? Now, what atoms made of?
You want to talk about quantum mechanics in India?
Let's break it down. We have photons. We have photons.
Sorry,
right?
brother.
We have photons.
Do we
right?
have understanding of real relativity?
Stop. We understand. Look, we have photons, right? Yes. What are photons made of?
Photon is not made of anything. Photon is photon. It is now the no. Photon is the fluctuation or perturbation in the electromagnetic field. It is a drop.
Now,
It is a drop.
physicists say that the photon exists in superposition, right? There's some undetermined thing about the photon. We don't know precisely where it is. We only know
Do
where
you
it
know
is.
what does the superposition means? Superposition means that it is existing in every possibility everywhere. And if you take the position, it is nothing to do with the knowledge. It is the knowledge. It is the fact. It has nothing to do with your limitation of measurement. It is the reality.
Yes.
Quantum.
What is
Have you understood?
what is measurement? When I measure a quantum system, do you know the specialty? I don't physics. No. That's what you just said. You told me.
I deal with quantum field theory, relativistic quantum
Hear
field
him
theory.
out.
Do you know?
So when you're speaking to
So
a specialist subject,
I am
just have the humility. I don't know. I don't care. If you don't know, I don't care. If you're telling me something
You
about
have no knowledge of something you're talking about. So you are using quantum mechanics and you
I'm
do not
talking
know
about-
basic understanding of
I'm
quantum
talking about
mechanics.
philosophy.
You are
I'm not getting-
understanding
no one's
what
getting
reality
school.
is.
No one's getting
You are trying to understand quantum reality in terms of a classical view of your.
He made a point about quantum
Limitation of
mechanics. I told him
measurement.
it's false. Then a physicist came in, Muslim, who was showing him
We're
he's wrong.
talking past each other. We're talking past each other.
No, you have no.
Who are you?
I'll explain afterwards.
Do you care the established knowledge? Do you care about the established knowledge? Do you care about the established knowledge?
I'm the one to be arrogant. Show some humility. You show some humility. You know what you're talking about.
Come.
What do I study?
My friend, let me just
Do you care about
recap.
established
I made a
knowledge?
point.
from one thing to
No,
another
I haven't. Shall I tell you why? I use. Okay, speak to him. Why are you scared of him?
I'm not scared of him.
No.
Speak to him.
I can't really even understand.
Because you're not letting me
Come
speak.
to me.
You're not
I
letting him
have
speak.
said, a unicorn is equal to a unicorn. That is, you do not understand. A unicorn is a unicorn. It is a true statement, self-consistent
Hold on,
statement.
I'm not being real. I can't understand.
You are arguing a modal logic kind of thing. So you are arguing a self-consistency of a statement.
I don't know.
You
I can't understand.
Do you understand the self-consistency of a statement?
I'm a
Shut. Okay, if you don't interrupt him, maybe you can understand what
I
he's
can't
saying.
understand the words.
Okay, fine. Speak again.
Sorry.
It's not the accent.
No, I'm not. It is the accent.
Okay, why can I understand it? Why can everyone else understand
I'm
it?
struggling as well. I'm struggling.
Well, no, you're his mate who from before. That's
know.
what
I
it
don't know.
counts.
I
That
don't know
doesn't
this
count.
guy.
Alright, fine.
When he speaks slow, I get.
Okay.
You are arguing
Let
about.
him speak, let him speak.
You are arguing about the self-consistency of a statement and possibility.
Do you understand that?
The self-consistency
Of discipline.
Of a statement. A statement that entails or describes a possibility.
No, I know. Look, I know the words.
Do you
I don't
understand
what
how
they're saying.
logical possibilities are inferred?
Do I understand
How
how
do you-
logical
how-
possibilities
Or
are
inferred.
inferred?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be a particular modal like philosophy. That
Yes,
I'm saying.
yes,
So
that's why
there's
I
gonna
was
be-
talking about you
So there's
set
gonna
a
be-
criteria of self-consistency.
I can't hear you say. A certain
I'll
criteria.
repeat it. He said the criteria of self-consistency is what you came up with.
Okay, so I'm going to
There,
take.
there I
so,
said that a unicorn is equal to a unicorn. It's a
Let's go.
self-consistent
So look,
statement.
the reason, wait, hold on. The reason why he brought you in this debate is because he said that quantum mechanics goes against logic. Now,
What we perceive to be
so-
what we perceive in quantum
Okay,
mechanics
okay.
goes against what we believe logically.
Okay.
I didn't say it disproves logic. I don't believe that.
So
Logic prevails quantum
So guess
mechanics.
what? It's just an equivocation. I thought you were talking about logic in philosophy. You were just talking about intuition. I don't disagree. Quantum mechanics does go against intuition.
Yeah, but you were making statements which he fact-checked on you.
No. Wait,
Talk to him. Talk to him.
Leave quantum mechanics. Now I'm
Just quantum
I'm
mechanics.
scrutinizing
Let him
your
speak, please.
self-consistency.
Let him
speak. Ask him a question.
No, listen, if you interrupt him, then you say I don't understand him because of his accent. Let him speak.
And scrutinize your self-consistency verification. I mean, I have to verify how you are able or how you are so good in establishing the self-consistency in a thing and qualify or identify a possible thing. Let me say that unicorn is equal to a unicorn. A unicorn is equal to a unicorn. Is it a statement? Is it a statement? It is a statement. Is it self-consistent?
What does that mean?
Self-consistent.
What does that mean?
A unicorn is equal to a unicorn.
What do you mean? I need to know what kind of sense you mean.
Okay.
No.
Is
There's different senses to
look,
that
I don't know why you're trying to get around what he's saying. He's saying a unicorn is a unicorn. Maybe you can understand my accent. A unicorn is a unicorn. Is that self-consistent? Is the statement self-consistent?
Are you saying the properties of a unicorn are identical to the properties of a unicorn?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
You said no. Which one?
No.
Sorry,
A unicorn.
Which one? You guys are confusing me. Which one?
Okay. A
I'm not
unicorn
going
is
to
a
the
unicorn. Is that consistent? Yes or no?
Without going to properties, a unicorn is equal to whatever be the property.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Unicorn has properties. What are you talking about?
So there he was talking about regression and time. So time and cause and effect has properties, and you are washing out these properties and imposing your own meaning and claiming that self-consistency. So if you are talking about time and cause, then you have some property of time and cause.
I haven't removed.
Then you have
removed any properties. You don't know what you're talking
Come
about.
on.
Let me ask you very simply. This is what he said. Okay, in quantum mechanics, do some of the things that are. Let me ask you the question.
Leave quantum mechanics from
The
where
only
you are.
reason why me and you talking right now is because he thought you knew something about quantum mechanics, which I denied. Let's talk about that and then we go back to it. Because our debate is
It has
meaningless.
already
Let him
been
Our
finish.
debate
Let
is
him
meaningless.
finish. Let him finish.
Look,
He let you finish.
if you agree with me, then we're done our debate because we're not debating about anything. In quantum mechanics, are some of the things that we come to know in quantum mechanics unintuitive? Yes or no?
What?
Are they unintuitive?
No, repeat the sentence.
In quantum mechanics, are there some truths we find in quantum mechanics which are unintuitive?
Yes.
That's it, done. We don't disagree.
What was I saying that you disagreed with me
I
on?
thought you said that they contradict logic, and we clarified to me.
Okay,
what you were
let me tell you
saying.
something. Logic prevails quantum mechanics. That's my view.
Yeah, but we don't disagree. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a qualification. This is meaningless. We don't disagree.
So let me say that
No,
logic.
we agree, we agree. There's no point in debate, we agree.
Logic depends on what you start with. So in quantum mechanics, in illogical, if you hold the classical view,
We're talking about axioms.
If you
of
hold
quantum
that-
mechanics. I'm talking about, like, for example, law of identity, law of excluding middle, law of contradiction. I'm just talking about the classical laws of logic are not contradicted by quantum mechanics. We just have particular notions about what we expect for particular measurements and stuff.
That's a
happen
belief,
that
by
are
the way.
unintuitive. Yeah,
Although I believe in what you're saying,
I
it's still a
agree,
belief.
I agree. We don't disagree. We agree. We agree. It's about that.
I should say that you check the experiment. You check the sequential Stern-Gall experiment, result of sequential Stern-Gall experiment. You can go through the MIT open course of quantum mechanics 1. There is available superposition, about superposition you are talking about. There you get that how your logical sense gets bashed. I don't know, destroyed. So you do not know.
Your intuitions are challenged.
I agree. That's not nothing to do with logic.
And no, then
That's intuition. That's nothing to do with logic.
even
For example, look, I have particular intuitions about the world. For example, I expect that when I get on a plane, the plane's gonna get up and it's gonna land. That's got nothing to do with logic.
Okay.
You see the point? We're not
Wait,
talking
wait,
about.
wait, wait.
No, no,
Are
no.
you separating intuition from logic totally?
No, so intuitions are going to be, for example, like intellectual impressions we have on particular things. So, for example, like let's say I take a particular proposition. Now, let's say I take a proposition. You've been to a different country, right? Or you're from a different country. I'm going to say, based off all of the things I see about you, my first my first intellectual intuitions is that that's probably true. Now, let's just say, for example, it's false. Well, then, yeah, my intuitions will be false. That's got nothing to do with logic in that
So
example.
why don't we do it this way? Why don't you explain to us, and this is an interesting point which is going to help us.
Why don't disagree?
No, I think we are disagreeing because I disagree with you separating intuition and logic.
Look, so there are going to be some.
And now I can start to see why we are disagreeing on other points too.
There's going to be some axiomatic foundational things. By the way, I am a foundationalist about justification. I was just trying to talk about different things. There are going to be some.
Oh, wait a second. Wait. Come on, man. Come on, man. So you're telling me we both come from the same school of thought.
I agree. But
So what's wrong with the first cause argument for God then?
Oh, the first cause argument. Oh, wait. So which one? Because there's Aristotle's one. There's
Aristotle's one.
Thomas Aquinas. So
Aristotle's one.
on my view, I think first of all, it doesn't show how. I think one of the biggest things is the what's it called again? It's like the modal quantifier.
I can't believe you actually believe this.
Yeah, because I like Aristotle. That's the guy, man.
Fine.
But like, one of the things is that it's going to be what is it?
Attributes.
It's like a fallacy of composition. So in my view, it seems to me like, for example, let's say I were to accept the contingency argument, it would not entail that there is one necessary being for all contingent chains. It does not entail that. It's perfectly possible for there to be multiple, for example, prime movers of different chains of contingency. The argument of the contingency argument put forth by Aristotle does not entail that there is literally one necessary non-contingent entity responsible for all the chains of contingency.
But the argument also doesn't talk about God being omnipotent or loving.
No, I know, but that's the argument. The argument was to put forth that all the chains of contingency end in a prime mover, but that doesn't follow. It can end, a chain of contingency. I can even agree that it's valid. I just don't think it's sound. It's going to be true.
Why is it valid but not sound?
No, because it's not true, but it does follow.
But why is it not true?
Because it's not contradiction. You see, because the thing is that Aristotle, he may not have known it, but that argument is going to deny causal finitism.
That was the point.
Right?
That was the point.
So
that
his
you were
argument,
saying that
his argument is going to deny
if it
causal
is
finitism.
not self-contradictory, that possibility is valid. That's why I said that unicorn is equal to unicorn.
I don't know.
That possibility is. Sorry.
I'm saying
that is
look,
self-consistent.
Look. Okay, you're making the point that for something to be impossible, you have to show there's a contradiction.
Not that you have to show it, but it has to be the reason why things are impossible is that they entail contradiction.
His counterpoint to that is it's logically consistent to say a unicorn's a unicorn.
Okay.
Right? Now, there's no contradiction in that statement. Follow on from this, because I don't.
Yeah.
That doesn't
I'm trying to get him to complete his
This
point.
possibility of existing unicorn is a valid possibility.
Oh yeah. So you're confused about.
Yeah, I see.
Yes.
Answer that.
So yeah, he's confused about epistemology and ontology. Now, a unicorn being a unicorn is an ontological statement. Now, it possibly being real is an epistemological statement. Those two things.
That's what I was saying about the bus.
No. The bus.
About the bus, I was only interested. You were talking about ontology. I was talking about
No.
You're talking about what's possible, right?
No. The bus example is an epistemological statement because we're talking about modal logic.
Right.
So he's confusing ontology and epistemology. So let's go back. Look, hold on. Let's go back to the original and my problems with the argument. My main problem with the argument is that it's a modal quantifier shift. That's the original thing. So it does not mean that just because there is, for example, a necessary being that is responsible for at least one chain of contingent things, that entails that a necessary being is responsible for all chains of contingency. That's one of my responses.
We never had that argument.
No, that's
No, look.
Ali Dharma came with some stuff.
No, listen.
I wish you was here from the start.
Listen.
We would have had a better conversation. But Ali Dharma.
Wait, 1 second. Does that mean me and you don't actually disagree with the bus example?
Oh, no, we do. Because you're saying that it is impossible. I'm saying if it's impossible,
Then
it's
it has to
going
be a
entail
contradiction. Okay, so here's my question to you. Why is it, and I still don't get it, despite you just saying, oh, it's some model logic or whatever, why is it that for something to be impossible, you have to show there's a contradiction? Why?
So you're making a claim. You're saying that there is a state of affairs in the world such that X does not obtain. Now, the only reason why X cannot obtain is because either X is false. So, like for example, 1 + 1 being 3, that's just going to be false. So that statement, the truth of that statement is always going to be false. That's not going to obtain. Or that it just entails a